Imagine having big dreams, but never reaching them. Not because you aren't smart, but because you can't stay focused. That's exactly what happened to one boy, until a life-changing lesson transformed everything. If you struggle with distractions, this story is for you. In a small town, there was a boy named Arjun. He was bright, full of potential, and dreamed of becoming a doctor. But he had one big problem. He lacked discipline. Whenever he sat down to study, his mind would wander. One moment he was checking his phone, the next he was lost in daydreams. He kept telling himself, "I'll study later, there's still time." But later never came. His teachers and parents warned him about the importance of focus, but Arjun believed intelligence alone was enough to succeed. One day, the results of an important scholarship exam were announced. Arjun had high hopes. He dreamed of securing the scholarship that would help him become a doctor, but when the results came out, he had failed. His friends, who had studied with discipline, passed with flying colors. His teachers, who once believed in him, now looked at him with disappointment. That night, as he sat alone, he realized the harsh truth. He wasn't failing because he wasn't smart. He was failing because he lacked focus and discipline. Determined to change, he decided to seek help from someone wise. Arjun had heard of a wise monk who lived outside the town. It was said that this monk had once been an ordinary man, but had transformed his life through sheer mental discipline. The next morning, Arjun visited the monastery and found the monk meditating under a tree. "Master," he said, bowing with respect, "I struggle to control my mind. I want to be successful, but I keep getting distracted. Please teach me how to discipline my mind." The monk smiled and said, "Ah, the restless mind, the greatest challenge of all. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, there was a young man named Veer who dreamed of becoming the best archer in the kingdom. He was strong and talented but lacked focus. His mind was always scattered. One day he would practice with dedication. The next day he would waste time on distractions. One day, Veer went to a famous archery master and said, "I want to be the best archer. Please teach me." The master took him to a riverbank where the water flowed steadily. He handed Veer a bow and arrow and said, "Shoot at that leaf floating in the river." Veer aimed and released the arrow, but it missed the leaf. The master asked, "What did you see when you aimed?" Veer replied, "I saw the river, the trees, the sky, and the leaf." The master shook his head. "That is your problem. Your eyes see too many things at once. A true archer sees only his target and nothing else." Determined to learn, Veer practiced for months. He trained his mind to focus only on the target. Eventually, when the master asked again, Veer answered, "I see only the leaf." And this time, when he released the arrow, it hit the target perfectly. The monk looked at Arjun and said, "Your mind is like Veer's. It is distracted by everything around you. If you want to succeed, you must train your mind to focus only on your goal." Arjun nodded, understanding the lesson, but he was still unsure how to apply it. "Master, how do I train my mind?" The monk smiled and gave him 4 simple rules. 1. Control your thoughts. Every time your mind wanders, bring it back to the task at hand. Just like the archer, see only your goal. 2. Create a routine. A disciplined mind needs structure. Set a daily schedule and follow it strictly. 3. Remove distractions. Identify what steals your focus, your phone, TV, or unnecessary activities, and eliminate them while working. 4. Be consistent. Mental discipline isn't built in a day. It requires daily effort, just like an athlete trains his body every day. Arjun took the monk's advice seriously. He made a study schedule and followed it strictly. Whenever his mind wandered, he reminded himself of his goal. He stopped using social media while studying and even deleted unnecessary apps from his phone. At first, it was difficult. His mind resisted discipline, craving distractions, but Arjun didn't give up. Day by day, his focus improved, and he could study for hours without losing concentration. Months later, when he sat for another important exam, he was prepared. This time, he didn't just pass. He secured the top rank. Arjun's success wasn't due to luck or intelligence alone. It was his disciplined mind that led him there. He finally understood that success is not about how smart you are, but how well you control your mind. Years later, as he stood on the stage receiving an award for academic excellence, he remembered the monk's words. The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it will take you where it wants. But if you train it, it will take you exactly where you want to go. From that day, Arjun lived by one principle: discipline your mind, and success will follow. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful life lessons. Let us know in the comments, what's one thing you're going to be more disciplined about starting today?